everyone, and welcome back to another video here on Bitcoin against the US dollar. It is January 5th, 2021. We're seeing Bitcoin sitting right now at about 33,968. What we see here is the daily chart. Again, let's go back to the monthly and see exactly what's happening here. As we see here is we see the previous trend line that we drew from last month and the ending out the year. This current green candle we see here to the upside is actually the monthly candle for January. So what we see here is we saw a dip at the beginning of the month, and then we saw this thing take off, and then a little pullback here. So again, let's look at the daily and see what we got going on here. I think we can see this a lot more clear. This is the start of today's candle, which was about almost 3 hours ago. And what we saw here, yesterday's candle, was a break over this previous day's candle, which was actually a break to the downside. Looks like possible sellers and profit takers, and that's fine. That's what we do. We take profits. We trade to make money. So this is perfectly normal. But we see a huge kind of tail here to the downside, but then we did see a recovery being made towards the end of the day. Then going into yesterday's candle, we saw another dip and then break up to the upside. So this candle here, we call this candle is breaking up on the upside. Same with this previous candle, even though it kind of developed a wick towards the end of the day as it went down, it was still considered an up candle because it broke above the previous high. But the wick that forms tells us what was going to happen here, or give us an idea how this day was going to start. We saw this wick being formed, and what that tells us is there was a lot of selling going on. A lot of selling going on towards the end of the day, because whenever we see a green candle, we know that it starts here, goes down, see the little shadow there, it goes up, and then it closes here. So it closed on the way down. If we look at the next day's candle, it is the exact opposite. It starts here, it went up to here as its high, didn't break the previous candle's high, and then shot down. But we knew that there was going to be some positive action on yesterday's candle because of what? After it bottomed out here, what happened? It started pushing back up. The bulls started pushing this thing back up, and then the beginning of yesterday's candle, then the dip, and then up, and then back down, and then close here. And this is where we're sitting. We're sitting right around the same price action as where the previous day closed. Had a little dip, but we're still maintaining right here at this junction here at 34 and some change. So what do we have here? We have something that's called an inside candle, and on every video I've talked about an inside candle, and you want to be very weary of trading within a day on a candle that's on the inside. It hasn't broke up the top and it hasn't broke out the bottom. It's got a long way to go down, ain't got so much way to go up to break that, but this could be the range of the day. We could see a bunch of up and down action, and that's why we don't really trade on an inside day, because it's just too choppy. It's unpredictable. Who knows what's going to happen? So what we do is we wait. Let me change this cursor here to across. So what we want to do is we want to wait till this thing breaks above that previous candle's wick or below the previous candle shadow, because that'll give us a direction of what's happening here. But for the time being, I would just sit on my hands and not get too antsy and just wait. If this thing goes down again below this, that is awesome. Why? Buying opportunity. This candle here was a signal that was telling people it's going to be time to buy once this thing bottoms out, because it's going to continue up. This was not a reversal candle, and what we saw here with this previous day going green, going back up to the upside, gave us confirmation that this was not a reversal. This was not the bears coming in and taking over and everything going down. What it did show us that was it is trend continuation. We've been on this uptrend for quite some time, probably December 12th in that range area here when we started this walk up. And what we see is this trend continuing on. There has not been any signals that showed us that there was going to be a reversal. Now, if we saw this candle break below this candle or down around the bottom here, and then we saw another one that gave us confirmation that it's heading south, then we can possibly say there might be a little bit of reversal happening. But again, we didn't see that. What we saw was some profit taking. And then, of course, whenever we see profit taking, like these little red candles here, we see a lot of fear selling. So once this thing turned red, I guarantee that a bunch of people dumped. And they dumped up here. Let's say they dumped at 31. The buyers came back in and started buying in down here, the smart guys. And then yesterday it pops up again, and now it's up to 34. And these people who sold down here at 32, they bought here, they sold here, they took a loss, and they're sitting there scratching their head. What happened? What happened? I bought up here, let's just say I bought at 34. Then it went down to 33, and I got scared, and I sold. And then what happened? Now it's back up to 34. Why is it every time I sell, the price goes back up? Because you don't know price action, and that's what you need to understand. And once you can see these things, see what's happening here price action wise in lifetime, you're going to get the confidence, and you're not going to be so scared and skittish every time you see a red candle and dump your whole portfolio. When you start seeing these things and gaining confidence, you're then going to make less mistakes in your trading. You're going to have better entries. You're going to have better exits. You're going to have more confidence in yourself. And confidence comes from one thing, and that's knowledge. And all this is heading towards one thing, and that is controlling your emotions. And as traders, you cannot be a good trader or an investor if you're emotional. And if you're emotional, that means you really don't have too much confidence in yourself. So I urge you to train, to learn, to study every day. Take time out of your day, 15, 30 minutes, watch some good videos, read some good books, watch charts, look at charts. Again, I'm always propping up Rob Smith in the Black. If you would just go to his YouTube channel and understand how he explains price action and learning this stuff, it will really improve your trading. It has improved mine drastically. So you can see exactly what's happening here, and you don't have to second guess. So again, today, look at what's happening. What we're seeing here is a formulation of this inside candle. That right there, if I woke up, if I was trading, on the stock market, and I woke up when the bell rang, and here it's 6:30 in California when the bell rings, and I see this as the day's candle as it's beginning, and it's inside this candle, whatever the stock is, I ain't going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. I used to think, well, I can beat it. Yeah, it's going to be choppy, but I can still, if this thing starts heading south, then I can jump in and I can get a quick put or a quick call or whatever option just to be in and out in a few minutes and then, scalp something. Yeah, you might get lucky, but that's just gambling. That's not knowledgeable trading. Okay, so what you want to do is you just set up a scanner or just constantly looking at different tickers and seeing what's happening. Like, for example, let's look at Tesla real quick. Okay, this is Tesla on the daily. What we see here is today is it was on the inside. It never broke down. It never broke up. But there was opportunities. Let's go to the hourly. There was opportunities that you could have traded this and possibly made some money. For example, if you would have gotten in here and then did a call option, and you could have rode this thing up here and made some money. That's, it worked. But again, it's more like a gamble. It's on the inside. You don't know what's exactly going to happen. Look at this day, the 4th of January, okay? Okay, it shoots up. Okay, I'm going to get in and I'm going to do a call, which means I'm going to make money when it goes up. Well, you did, but then what happens? It tanks. And then when you're trading options, you have something called time decay. Time is working against you. So as time's going on, the value of your option is going down. So if you buy here, well, I'm going to hold it for a few days and maybe it'll get back up to here like it did here after hours. Well, guess what? If you bought it for $100, let's say, well, even though it's a higher stock price, because of time decay, it's not sitting at 100. Once it goes down and takes this dip, it takes a lot for it to come back. So again, this is all looking at the daily, looking at the big picture, and then trading properly on that. Again, inside day, stay away from it. Let's look at the monthly here on Tesla here and see what we see. What do we see? We see a lot of big action is what we're seeing. We're almost Bitcoin-like. You look at this. We had that 5-to-1 split earlier in the year. And now this thing has just been on a rampage going up. So on the monthly, it has broke above the December month. Okay, so January is above January. Do you see this? It is broken above. So it is a bullish signal. But I see this shadow here showing me what? That the recent sales have gone down. Again, go back to the daily. What are we seeing? Okay, inside. Yesterday was an up day, but at the end of the day, we saw a bunch of selling off towards the end. And then today we see a little indecision. We don't know if it's going up, going down, but it's still in the upward trend. Again, rule 1. If it's inside to the previous candle, don't trade it. Go find something else because you're going to get chopped up unless you get lucky and get in and get out of something before trouble. All right, so what we want to do again is always look at price action, see what the trend is going, the direction that it's going in, look at the candles, look at the big picture, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, as I always stress, because this is important. And teach yourself. Take the time. You want to do this. We're in a marathon. Take the time to teach yourself so you can learn, so you can continue to do this. And little by little, you're going to learn and you're going to gain confidence. And then you're going to be able to control your emotions. And that's the trick to trading, controlling your emotions. All right, so have a great day and keep trading.